we go after it. And that takes us to section number 2 on the bottom of page 1. And the question is, why should I seek wisdom? Which is also the title of the study. Why should I even seek wisdom? Can't God just show me what I need right at the right time? And sure, He can, but that's not how God's wired you. Let's look at these different sections here, because I think this is really, really important as to why we should seek wisdom, okay? Because it's more than just getting smarter, and it's more than just wanting to be able to do something good, okay? It's way deeper than that. So here's the first reason. It's in blue in the bottom of the page. Wisdom will draw you closer to God. Wisdom actually will draw you closer to God. Take a look at verses 5 through 8. Remember where that comma stopped at verse 4? Here's where it continues now. Then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom, from His mouth comes knowledge and understanding. He holds success in store for the upright. He is a shield to those whose walk is blameless, for He guards the course of the just and protects the way of His faithful ones. See, seeking wisdom leads to God. Why? Because you will discover the fear of the Lord, and the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all wisdom. Now remember, we said this last week, that the fear of the Lord is this holy awe and respect of the Lord, not being afraid of God. God does not want you to be afraid of Him or fearful of Him. He wants us to be in awe of Him. It should cause us to worship Him and give Him praise when we just see how awesome He truly is. And the fear of the Lord, that incredible sense of awe of the Lord, is actually the beginning of wisdom. And why is that, by the way? Because what you're doing, you're seeing this source of wisdom that is so much bigger than you. That He must have something to say to me. He must have something to show me. If He created all of this, if He created the entire universe, if He created the planets, the sky, the sun, the moon, the stars, everything. He created all this, my body. He created all this, all these chemical reactions that have to take place in my body every single day, seconds at a time, just so that I can function and live and survive. God made all of that. So when my awe and my fear of the Lord is greater, then that opens up the floodgates for Him to dispense His wisdom into my life. So our sense of awe is actually the beginning of receiving wisdom from God. I will not ask advice of somebody who I think is stupid. Right? I won't. And nor should you. I'm not going to go to somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about and try to get their guidance. Why would I do that? But if I know that somebody really knows how I should go, if somebody can really lead me, that's the way to do it. I was in Target one time. I made the grave mistake of wearing a red polo. I had all these people asking me where things were because they thought I worked there. So, where's the cereal? I said, well, try automotive. I'm just leading people astray at this point, just making a game out of it. So I was not the person. That is a true story. I was not the person to go for advice because I didn't know what I was talking about. So we need to be selective as to whom we go to for wisdom. Just because they can quote some verses at you does not necessarily mean that they are the source that you should go to for wisdom. Just because they go to church does not necessarily mean they're the wisest person. Be selective in whom you go to. I highlighted the very last sentence on the first page, and it goes to page 2. It says this: God doesn't want immature, ignorant people who don't know how to live. And I want to just pause there, okay? Because when the media, inevitably, what happens? If something takes place that's like garners national or newsworthy attention, okay? And they know there's a bunch of Christians there, okay? Who do they go to? Who do they stick the microphone in the face of? It's rarely, sometimes it is, but it's rarely the sharpest knife in the drawer. And so sometimes there's this stigma that we're just, I love Jesus. And that just isn't true. That just isn't true. We are not called to be ignorant people who don't know how to live. If you find somebody who has no clue on how to live, I will tell you that there is somebody that needs a greater dose of the fear of the Lord in them. On the flip side, also, he also doesn't want independent, isolated people who don't realize their need for him. So there's a balance there, isn't there? So you don't have to have a day of prayer and fasting to determine what socks you should wear tomorrow. Okay? God has given you the wisdom to be able to do that. Okay? But maybe there's a job opportunity for you, and you're not sure if it's the right way to go. Okay, there. Okay, now you don't dare make those decisions without God's input, without the wisdom of the Lord. You don't dare do that. Don't go by your feelings. Don't go by just other people's opinions. Yes, there's wisdom in the counsel of many, but ultimately we need to seek the wisdom of God. Amen? Top of page 2.